Hello and welcome to Tops Day Nurseries Wimborne Kitchen Hub. Today we have got the perfect picnic recipe. It's the cheese and tomato quiche. Something so simple deserves the best ingredients. So we're looking at free-range eggs, delicious cave-aged cheddar and some organic tomatoes. All of that should do justice to the perfect outdoors, on the go picnic lunch. So we're going to start off. First of all, we need to make the pastry case. So we're going to start off by rolling it out. Nice and easy. Keep on turning it, just on an angle, so you get a form of a circle. It doesn't have to be perfect. We bought this short crust pastry base. We bought this from the supermarket. Any supermarket will have it, but we've also included the recipe if you feel brave enough to give it a make. Very, very easy to do. It's like 3 ingredients. So once we've rolled it out, you don't want it too thin, certainly not too thick, but you can sort of see the thickness of that. Okay, we're just going to get our mould or our ring, fold it back over there, and just see whether it fits, and that fits perfectly. Now, start off just by lifting it up so it doesn't tear the edges, and making sure it sits into all the corners of the base, right the way around the edge. And once we get to there, we're just going to keep on pushing it all the way around, folding it over the edge so we get a nice light tart. I'm just going to get a fork, and this will just stop it bubbling up a little bit. Okay, so you're not going to go all the way through. Any splits in that pastry. And now, this is where we do the blind bake. And in goes the pearl barley. And what we're going to do is spread that out. And make sure it's well packed into the bottom. Now you're not putting this too hard, but you're just giving a light press to make sure that it fills all of the edges. I'm going to bake that in the oven now, 160 degrees, low fan, okay, and that will take about 20 minutes to blind bake. And in typical Blue Pig fashion, here is one I made earlier. Now we move on to our filling. We're going to start off just by cracking four of the eggs into a small jar. And the very last one, we're actually only going to use the egg yolk. So we just drop that in between, get rid of the excess white. Next up, just give them a good whisk. Make sure that the eggs are really well beaten. I'm just going to leave them to one side very quickly. Next up, we're going to take some of this delicious cheddar and just sprinkle it very lightly along the bottom of your tart case. Now, next up, add in some of the cream. Your recipe is attached to this video, so you'll have the exact quantities. But again, we just incorporate that through, mix that through. And now we're going to take our organic, these are actually Dutchy tomatoes from the Dutchy estate. And we're going to take those tomatoes and we're just going to slice them. Okay, we're going to drop some of them just in the bottom. Try to lay them on the cheese as well. Okay, and then we're going to slice some ready for the top. I don't know whether you can see, but there's almost 2 little lines that will run through a tomato. So you can see it there, the other 2 sides bulge out. When you're slicing a tomato, okay, especially for something that's going to go on the top, try to slice along those lines. And all that means is that you will get here that piece of tomato that runs down through the middle, so that when you cut it, all the seeds don't automatically fall out. And next up, I'm going to take some of this mix, I'm going to pour it in evenly, just so it fills up all those little gaps. We're just going to get some of these tomatoes on the top. And then we'll get a little bit of our cheese again. Just sprinkle that on, just to finish it off. Take a little bit of herb, not too much. Just sprinkle that over the mix. But we'll also finish it with a bit of this, but just so it cooks in with it. Okay. Then that will go in the oven, 160 degrees, low fan, and that will be approximately between 15 and 20 minutes. And that's our quiche in the oven, ready to go, and we'll see what it looks like in a little bit. Okay, so our quiche has come out of the oven. Okay, so what we do now is we just trim these edges off, just with a knife, and we just take it, we're not cutting into the tart dish, okay, we're just running along the edge. And we'll get a nice raised edge. What we're going to do is, we're just going to lift it out of it on the edge of the table. And there you have your perfect quiche. We're just going to start cutting into this, pushing through. So first of all, we're going to take it in half. We're going to use a saw in action, just to make sure. And there you have perfect quiche inside as well. So we're going to cut this into 8. And there we have our summer cheese and tomato quiche, made with the best ingredients. Absolutely delicious.